Take 5. Okay, so hopefully I'm able to get through this video all at this one time because I've been interrupted and I've had to go and I just messed up after a few minutes. And so, okay, this is it. This is going to be the one. All right. So I'm coming to you today to talk about fiction because you guys are going to be creating fiction short stories. Excuse me. The first thing that we're going over is the why. Why are we doing this? What's the purpose of this assignment? Well, this is to assess your knowledge. We've been reading predominantly fiction during this unit. And now it's time to see what you've learned. As we've read the fiction pieces, we weren't just reading. We were analyzing for the purpose of getting into that author's head, right? They left us messages in those texts, and we were trying our best to understand those messages and to understand all of the different elements that these authors put into these pieces. So that's not only the imagery and the figurative language, right? So painting a picture with your words. Okay, but even the characters in the stories. Okay. And how they develop. Do they change or do they stay the same? And if they, either way, what do those characteristics in them, how do they develop the storyline? How do they develop the plot? Right? We got characters. The setting is also so very intentional. Okay? Why did the author choose this specific place to be the setting? What does that do? How does that maybe build suspense? Or how does that make me feel as the reader? Is this a cautionary tale? These are questions that we have to ask ourselves when we're trying to get in the head of the author, because they've given us a message and we have to decipher it, right? We have to decode it, okay? And it's not only that, and these are all key elements that we've been analyzing, right? And we cannot forget the conflict. Where did that conflict come from? Okay. Why did he choose that conflict? That conflict, does it resolve? Maybe not. Why? Why? Okay. And all of these things in every little piece that the author puts into his writing or her writing, it's intentional and it has a purpose. But some things that the author might say do hold more importance than others. So it's not only are you able to understand and find all of these things, but are you able to analyze these pieces of literature and find the most important pieces that really support your understanding, okay? So now you get a chance to do all of these things, to think about how your characters are gonna be, who they are, right? And really make them become real. How are your characters gonna be realistic? Are they gonna be relatable? Do you purposely want one of them to be far out, and why, right? How are you going to describe the pictures, or how are you going to describe the characters or the setting or any of the important elements, some of the storyline? What figurative language are you going to use? What metaphors, what analogies, right? What comparisons are you going to use to make your audience or your reader really be able to see what you want them to see? Make your story become real, okay? Where's your setting gonna be? Where is this gonna take place, or where are the places that you're gonna incorporate in your story? Right? And what's the problem gonna be? What is the problem gonna be? And this is a lot to come up with. So where I would start personally, what's the main thing, the most important thing that when my reader is done with my story, what do I want them to learn, right? What message do I want them to take from this, okay? And so I would start there. And then I would build everything else around it. So once I've got my theme, and you can maybe come up with a couple because, again, you're brainstorming. So it doesn't, what you say doesn't have to be what you really do, right? You're just getting ideas on paper and making connections, okay? So from here, once you've got your theme, and let's go with never give up, right? For anybody that currently has writer's block, think about some movies. Here, we'll say that. I'll save that. I'll go back over it. Okay, hang on. All right, so my theme is to never give up. What kind of characters should I have in this story about never giving up? Maybe so I'm thinking maybe my story could have two key characters or two main characters, and then maybe a couple of supporting. And I'm gonna describe them separately because my supporting characters are not gonna have the same detail, and they're not even gonna have the same level of importance because they're not the main character, right? I know that if at least one of these characters, if not both, are gonna be learning something. I want them to grow, right? And maybe one of them never learns and their life ends up horrible because they never learn. I don't know. So with that being said, how are my two characters gonna be? And again, yours doesn't have to be just like this. I'm just kind of running through this really fast to give y'all some ideas. So two key characters. I want one to be stubborn. Okay. I want them to be hard-headed is under stubborn. I want them to be grumpy because they're stubborn. They're gonna have kind of a negative outlook. And I think it'd be cool if these two characters contrast each other. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say that maybe my other character is gonna be really positive and open to growth, right? Because that's what you need if you never give up, open to growth. Or maybe they can start off the same way as this other character and then change, okay? So this is gonna be my dynamic character, and this is gonna be my static. And I'm literally making this up as I'm going along, talking with you through this video. So this is, it doesn't have to, this is the hardest part. Once it's done, you can fix it and structure it and you can change. So like I said, I wrote positive and open to growth, but I'm gonna start this character as stubborn and grumpy, just like this one. Maybe they'll be twins, heck. Because I really want my reader to understand that you create your own path in life, right? And if you never give up, you can have success, right? So I want one to end up crappy and one to end up great. And I really so I'm gonna make them twins to really show, hey, two people can go through the same hard life and one thrive and the other one fall because they don't have that grit, right? Okay. So my supporting characters, they're not even gonna matter, but you kind of get an idea there of how are my characters gonna have a saying, right? Something that they're known for. And I might come up with that. And as I come up with more ideas, I'm just gonna jot them down. Next, where is this gonna take place? I'm going to have different places because I'm going to have them going through different things. Is he still even recording? Okay, sorry. And then the conflict. So what will the problem be? Maybe possible problems. I wish I could hear some suggestions from you guys. Okay. So a possible problem might be lost a game. We can go even deeper in lost a parent, lost a home. Okay. And I might wait to choose my setting until I come up with some problems. Okay. And from this, I'll kind of pick things. All right, if I go with loss of a parent, what are some ways that I'm going to describe how these guys are feeling? Okay. So if depending on what how I write this, let's see. Like okay. Orphan, like Bambi watching his mother be executed. I don't know, guys. Can you even see that? Doesn't matter. I just told you. Okay. But so on and so forth. What analogies or figurative language are we going to use to describe the twins? So in the beginning, I can say how they are so similar. And then towards the end, I can say that they're fire and ice, right? Or hot and cold, right? But a variety of ways. And that's something that you'll sit and you'll spend a little time thinking about. From here, you'll kind of organize your writing. Definitely a little more than me because I'm really trying to get this all out before somebody else knocks on the door. But think of some words to begin your story, okay? Your characters, who's the protagonist? Who's the antagonist? Okay, where is this happening? What time frame? What season? What's the weather like? How are you going to describe it? Okay. Again, what colorful adjectives are you using? Because you want to be descriptive. You want to use those sensory words and phrases to really paint a picture, to make an image in someone's head, right? How are you going to make this believable, right? How are you going to use specific, interesting, and unusual details to keep your reader's attention all the way through? Make sure once you start writing that your paper is organized. Every time you go somewhere different or you wrap up a scene, you start a new paragraph. When something is shifting, make sure that your ideas are controlled and that your story flows and that it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? But your paragraphs are going to change every time you start a new idea. So there's not a right or wrong number. But you have to make sure that you have a conflict and it's believable, right? When we read these stories, even the ones that are unbelievable, you can't put them down. If you've got writer's block and you can't think of any ideas, then I want you to kind of imagine yourself watching a movie. If you are an avid reader, if you are an avid reader, what books do you like to read? What kind of books do you like to read? So you may not read a whole lot in your free time or when you want. But what TV shows do you like to watch? What movies are you interested in? What genre is that? That might help you get started with writing your story. So maybe I like chick flicks and I like comedies and action movies. So we go chick flick. Maybe I should write a romance comedy of a fiction, right? And what elements to these stories do I really like? So maybe you like action and you really like that it's fast paced and that there's always something going on and that they get to go on all these adventures, right? So maybe if that's what you like, then those are elements that you need to put in your short story. What else? I feel like same thing for the author's voice. So maybe so maybe you like an author who uses a lot of figurative language, but you don't know how to do that yet. So if you read a little bit of their writing, then you can take that same skill to your own and kind of mimic how they do things until you get your own voice, right? Or until you really know what that voice is. And there was one more note that I was going to say, but if I can't remember, I'm just going to stop this. I can't remember, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. So while you're brainstorming, last thing, and then I'm going to get off, and you're going to be set to go. And if you have more questions, let me know. Please let me know, because I really don't know what you need. I'm here to support you in any way that I can, but if I don't know that you need that support, then I think you're good and I think you've got it. So please reach out to me. But before we end, when you're brainstorming, jot down crazy what ifs, right? I heard that from the video that I shared with y'all, and I love that idea. What if we jumped out of a plane and made it? Right? What if the book caught on fire out of nowhere? Like, just write down random what ifs and see how that could take your plot in so many different places. Okay. If you still need help and you're confused in any way, you choose the prompt, you choose the theme, you choose everything, you choose the characters. This is your choice. You take this story wherever you want it to go. You have the freedom to be creative and just have fun, right? This is a major test grade, so have fun and be critical of yourself. Make sure that you take the time to edit your papers. I'm going to be linking in a really awesome video that I found over editing, so that it won't have all the mess ups that you get to watch when you see me. But yeah, I think y'all are going to do great, and I'm here for you. If you need me, please reach out. Okay? All right. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye.